media worldwide.
Oh boy, it is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. It is the Sunday radio show, and we are coast to coast and border to border. Let's mark this down. Apparently, the news is out. I heard about this news in November over Thanksgiving holiday. Usually my holidays are not that great, but that announcement made me smile. Well, fairly recently, let me give you the inside details and the inside baseball on this. Last year, PCW, or what used to be Taz, or whatever, did wrestling during the Smallville Comic-Con. Now, as everyone knows, 3 years ago, and maybe not a lot of people know that I kind of have a hand in this, but 3 years ago, I was at the Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City, and they had NWL, which is no longer around, do pro wrestling at the event. They had set up a ring, and they did some matches and things. And so I came back, and at the time, the Midwest Mangler was doing things with MWE, Midwest Wrestling Entertainment. And I went ahead and I suggested, hey, you ought to get a hold of the people at the Kansas State Fair and at the Smallville Comic-Con and do some wrestling. And I passed along a phone number, and I passed along an email, and I even talked to John on Facebook, and I got it all set up, ready to go. Lance dropped the ball. I dropped a pin, but essentially that's what happened there. So then, a year later, I go to Taz, Dan Adams, and everybody. And I said, hey, you need to get involved with this Smallville Comic-Con in, ironically, Smallville. And I said, you got to get some wrestling going on there. I explained the concept to him. I showed him some highlights and stuff from NWL in Kansas City. He's like, I love the idea. So he turned it over to the geniuses. We all know who they are. And they apparently dropped the ball or weren't interested or something. So then the following year, they decided they would get involved with Comic-Con. Because, of course, it always has to be their idea. It can't be my idea. It can't be anyone else's idea. It's got to be their idea. So they got involved with Comic-Con, and they set up a booth and did some things, and had the wife beater and everybody out there. Oh, wait, they've distanced themselves from him. More on that later. Then, it's going to be a fun Sunday show today. So then, by the way, if you missed Dimitri's interview and you missed the other interview with Larry Tracy, go to the website, jiggyjaguar.com. We got all that over there. So we go ahead, and they go ahead and they do this. Well, then the following year, they had this grand idea, oh my God, let's do matches. Really? Really? Okay, so, as the Miz would say, really? So they go ahead and they do matches. And all the marks. You know, Jim Cornette is often quoted as saying it was so much easier when the marks were out front. So they do this show, and they did all sorts of different things, and it's a good show and all that stuff. So then this year, Kansas Wrestling Revolution, which is the KWR, as you can see that logo there, they get a hold of me Thanksgiving week, and they said, hey, we just closed a deal with, we're going to do our shows at the Kansas State Fair during Smallville Comic-Con. And I'm like, well, isn't PCW locked in for that? Because I've been hearing from all sorts of people, oh, PCW's going to do this, PCW's going to do that. Well, apparently they had talked with some of the people that run the Smallville Comic-Con. And they weren't real happy with last year's festivities. But they had already made the agreement that they would do the Comic-Con. They would let them come back this year. Try it again, you know. So they go ahead and they made this agreement. Well, funny little thing about no-compete clauses, when venues and things sign them, kind of have to follow them. So, KWR was running a show in November, so they signed a no-compete with the State Fair, which means, guess what? If you're doing pro wrestling, can't do it on the fairgrounds unless you get permission from KWR. So John from Smallville turns around and says, well, okay, nothing I can do. So he also said, hey, you've now given me the opportunity that I can get out of this deal with them. So he doesn't have to look like the bad guy. Let's make Nathan the bad guy. Nathan doesn't have a problem playing the heel. He loves being a heel. So, brother, do you hear that? You know what that is? You know what that is? KWR at the Smallville Comic-Con is what that is. So, now KWR is going to be at the Comic-Con. And PCW's not. So PCW better go change those, better get the wife beater on your graphics and go get them flyers changed, brother. So, oh wait. He doesn't work for them anymore. They got rid of him. It's okay. We're going to let this blow over like they did with Alyssa. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here except for KWR at the Smallville Comic-Con. So, that's a little behind the scenes baseball on that. And I am so glad. I am so glad that I am involved with this. You know what's funny about this is that I posted this on Friday, and the first person to like it on our Facebook page was Aaron Helms. And then he went in and took the like away. That's fine. I like Aaron. And Aaron, here's the thing. Aaron and a lot of these guys, they want wrestling to do well. They don't care about this guy and that guy and these people are feuding. They want wrestling to do well. They care about the business of wrestling. So, but I understand he doesn't want to like it, and that like shows up, and then assholes like me get on it and go, oh, he liked it, blah, 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 blah. He liked that. And then he gets heat. There's all these problems. They just gave him tag belts and everything else. But that's fine. That is our first section here. We still have more to come. I got to talk about the Mangler Unleashed on our radio broadcast. That is going to be coming up. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the XWE KWR feud, of course, is continuing into the new year. And XWE, WWX, PCW have released a schedule. PCW is going to have to change that schedule just a slight smidge. And we'll also talk about the MWE imploding. That's not good. So we'll talk about all that. And we got to talk about the wife beater. They put out a press release. He's been fired. But he's still doing graphics for him. And they're still promoting his company. This is odd. Got more coming up.